gentlemen, from the Mammoth Event Center right here in Denver, Colorado, America presents in association with Lowe's Giorgio Hotel Denver and the undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, proudly present to you professional boxing action, which means it's fight time on Fox. Let's get the action started. We have for you, first of all, 10 rounds of boxing in the junior featherweight division. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Novar Garcia. Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the red corner, he's wearing the red trunks and weighed in at 118 pounds. Hailing from Denver, Colorado, he has a professional record of 16 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mad Max Gomez. And his opponent, fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner. Tonight, he's wearing blue trunks with white trim and weighed in at 119 pounds. Hailing from Mexico City, Mexico, he has an impressive record of 22 wins, just 1 setback, 1 draw, with 18 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adan Vargas. Once again, here's your referee, Novar Garcia, to give the instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, I've given you the instructions in the dressing room. Do you have any questions, Max? Adan, hay preguntas? No hay preguntas. Gentlemen, touch gloves. Get back to your corners, wait for the bell. Good luck.
Let's take a look at the Budweiser tail of the tape, and Vargas, as you can see, 5 inches taller than Gomez, but Gomez is going to try to get right on his chest. There's no question about it. They're fighting 1 pound over the bantamweight limit is Vargas. Let's take a look at the rules here in Colorado. There will be a 10-point must system. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. There will be a standing 8 count. The fighter can only be saved with a bell in the last round, and only the referee can stop the fight. The headbutt rule, after the 3rd round, we go to the scorecards. And with that, we are set to go. Round 1. Real test, I think, here, Rich, for Adan Vargas.
Yeah, because Max Gomez is really more than just a trial horse. You know, he's really a fine fighter. He's a top 10 contender-like fighter. He's been in with the very best. You know, he's dropped, say, split decisions to guys like, Jesse Magana, Kennedy McKinney, Agapato Sanchez, all guys who have been or fought for the world championship. He really is quite a fine fighter. He has a tremendous chin. He's never been stopped. This is a real test for Vargas, who is a kid who supposedly has all the tools.
Well, Vargas, the guy's not going to get you out of there with 1 punch, but pretty good finisher when he does get a man hurt. Nice combination there.
Vargas is a very patient fighter in there. He's poised beyond his years in terms of that patience. What he likes to do, he has a game plan and pretty much sticks to it.
Another thing that will serve Vargas well in this fight is he's an excellent counterpuncher. And against an aggressive fighter like Gomez, that's often a good weapon.
Gomez shifting to southpaw against the southpaw fighter here and trying to figure out a way in which to get to Vargas.
Gomez not necessarily a guy who's just going to put his head down and rush at you. He will work behind a jab. It's not a great jab, but it's there. And there's a quick left hand. Nice combination. So Vargas was very sharp early in this fight.
There's a nice left hook inside by Gomez. Keep in mind also, as you watch this fight unfold, that Gomez often starts in very slow fashion and comes on. He's one of those fighters who seems to be stronger in the last third of the fight than he is in the first third.
Well, interestingly enough, that's what we've seen of Vargas in a couple of times we've seen him here on Fox also. But Vargas starting pretty quickly here in this fight. That may be what you just mentioned, the very reason that Gomez doesn't often get the favor of the officials in close fights. You know, there's that old ring generalship that's sort of a vague term, but talk to any judge and they will tell you that that is a factor in their scoring. And Gomez, even though he's an aggressive fighter, gets more aggressive as the fight goes on. He doesn't set that tone early.
He's beginning to reach Vargas with some shots now. you're coming down to the typical, very close, hard to score Max Gomez round.
Absolutely. Inside of 10 seconds remaining in the first round, and you're absolutely right. You could make a case for either fighter in this round. Vargas finishes it with a flourish, though. Well, Gomez, we talked about him. He has been the definitive hard luck fighter no less than 6 times as he gone to split decision and lost them all.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a split decision.
Inside of 10 seconds. There'll be no knockout. Santos and Gomez both beating chairs at the bell. Fight's over. It's in the hands of the judges. Distinction.
I don't want to be. See, that's why I said this year I got to prove to myself mentally that I can do it. I can push myself to go that extra step, do what it takes to get there. Because it's right there. All I got to do is reach out and grab it.
Well, and in fact, it is right there for him, as Vargas is a guy who's not going to run away from him. Again, you harken back to the old styles make fights adage, and I think the styles in this fight make for a good one.
That's absolutely. I think it was established in the first round that Vargas is going to try to pick his man apart if he can, but Gomez is such a relentless force that it's going to be difficult to do that for 10 rounds and emerge from that unscathed. Gomez is going back to fighting now in an orthodox right-handed fashion.
I think this is a real test for Adan Vargas. This combination by Vargas.
That's the type of exchange I think that is going to be typical of this fight.
What do you like? Next. What do you like?
Vargas will stand there and battle him.
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
Watch your head, watch your head, watch your head. Cuidado con la cabeza.
And Gomez's last fight, when he fought Santos, he had an opponent who was moving a lot of lateral movement, was picking him apart with jabs early. But eventually Gomez did a lot of damage to him. And eventually he busted up Santos pretty good. Needless to say, the crowd very enthusiastic in here. This is Gomez's home territory, so he's bought a few tickets for this one, I'm sure.
The sound really bangs off the walls here at the Mammoth Event Center.
Take it, man. Keep your hands high. That's it. Keep your hands high. They can feel it too.
Left hook a little bit short.
Vargas is just waiting here and not throwing punches. I don't know why he was closing that way, but he was allowing himself to be hit.
Well, you know, if there's been any criticism about Adan Vargas, it has been the fact that at times he just kind of loses his concentration, loses his focus.
That might have been the case right there. He just stopped.
Take it to the road. Don't back down. Take it to the road.
Those were caught on the gloves of Gomez.
Vargas throws a lot of punches and bunches. He doesn't usually just throw a jab and let it stay out there. He likes to follow behind it and do something with it.
Well, the first 2 rounds are just typical of a Max Gomez fight. Very close rounds, very difficult to score. So we come to the end of round number 2. Pick your favorite.
Stop!
Would you make sure I see that also? Make sure I see that sign also.
Jimmy, is the crowd out of my ear? It's still blasting in here. Is that all just coming through my mic? You're not hearing me on TalkBack, are you? Are you, Jimmy, can I try you on TalkBack? Because I was talking to you that whole round. You didn't hear me.
That means it's just this loud in here.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Must be. Set to go to round number 3. Barry Tompkins, Rich Murata. We're at the Mammoth Event Center here in Denver. I'll tell you what, this place is old enough there probably are still a couple of mammoths hanging around.
I heard somebody talking earlier tonight, just a couple of fans who were here, and one guy said to the other, you know, I haven't been here since 1969. But he goes, I'll tell you, it hasn't changed a bit.
I don't even think they've swept up since then.
Well, you get that true boxing feeling in here, no doubt about it.
Well, it is that. I mean, this is the definitive club fight through. Good job by Gomez to get in and then get out before Vargas could counter.
Vargas fought his first 21 bouts in Mexico, won the Bantamweight Championship of Mexico. He defeated, along the way, Jesus Sarabia, and also defended the crown against Jose Sarabia as well. And those are good fighters, both those guys, the Sarabia guys, and he managed to defeat both of them. So he's been in some pretty good competition himself, although certainly not to the level he had that Max Gomez has faced. Gomez only 2 really decisive defeats, Barry, have been at the hands of very good fighters, Junior Jones and Jesus Salud, although both of those went the distance.
Again, Vargas punching very sharply and punching in bunches. Low with that.
And he stepped on Gomez's foot at the same time, something that often happens, though, when you have a southpaw in there against a right-hander.
That's it. Go to your left. Go to your left. Slide with the right to the belly. Come back with the hook. Oh! Don't stop.
Combination by Vargas. These guys absorbing a little bit of punishment in this fight.
Yeah, a lot of punishment. This is really crisp action.
It's interesting to me, Rich, that Vargas seems content to fight Gomez in close and is being effective.
Yeah, he's willing to do it. He'll test Max in close. And I'm sure that's fine with Max, obviously. Max would like to get there. But what Max Gomez needs to do is to get Vargas really moving backwards, I think.
Gomez has a cut now over his left eye, in the corner of his left eye. We'll have to wait and see how serious that cut is. It does not appear to be real serious right at the moment. Coming to the end of round number 3, 3 competitive rounds. We'll be back.
I gave it to this kid.
All right.
They're hard rounds.
Yeah.
You're doing okay, but to make a big fight out, your fight is not in the middle of a ring, okay? Your fight is take him to the ropes or make him move. Make your movement like I told you.
Fight with this guy. We already figured that out.
Gotta get that belly. Gotta get that belly, okay? Gotta get the body and then go to that.
Well, it's a fight that's been exactly as advertised as we start round number 4. Little to choose between these two, and Gomez just treading in very familiar waters here.
They were really working on Max Gomez in the corner. Jimmy Montoya was working on the cut eye. It is not a bad cut at this time. It could become bothersome, though. It's right on the eyelid. And he also had the little bit of swelling underneath both eyes, and especially underneath the right eye, so they were working the end swell pretty well as well in between rounds.
That cut opens up again early in this 4th round. Still not a major problem. And it's in a spot, of course, where Vargas can work on it.
Adan Vargas has a nice style, does things technically well, a good technician in the ring. He's very fluid with his arm movement, with his upper body movement.
A pretty effective jab, too. Will punch to the body, as we said earlier, counter punch as well, and can finish. We'll be seeing his brother Goyo when next we meet in Chicago. Goyo Vargas, former champion. Nice combination for Vargas.
Gomez is going to have to step up the pressure here. Maybe work to the body a little bit. Remember in the fight with Santos that we saw last month, Gomez started pretty well and then had a real slump middle part of the fight. Came on strong. He swept the final 3 rounds on all the judges' cards, but it wasn't quite enough to get him the win.
Good right hand from Vargas. The thing that strikes me, Rich, is Vargas is beating Gomez at Gomez's game.
Yeah, he's been pinpointing his punches. He's been beating him to the punch is the reason for that. Although he did get clubbed a pretty good left hook in close, it got a rise out of the fans. But those are pinpoint punches that Vargas throws, and he throws them straight. He's been a little quicker with his arms.
Grab, and then 1-2. 1-2 right over the middle. Bottom of the belly, get it. Right there, goddammit. Listen to me, man.
He's trying to go downstairs. Limited success. Got there with a hook, but didn't have a lot on it. Gomez's punches not get caught on the arms of Vargas.
This was a really nice round fought by Adan Vargas. He's very patient throughout the round, just pinpoint punching, good technique throughout the round.
Going to take you into the corner of Max Gomez. Jimmy Montoya will be the voice you will hear.
What's the water? What's the water?
Yeah.
Jimmy will go to work.
Don't put it in the crowd. Okay, all right.
Yeah, talk to his
Give him a little water. Okay, let me work. Okay, Max. You're doing okay, but you're throwing punches for no reason at all. Put them together when you're standing up. Don't lunge. Get me the stomach. Get me that body. Keep your hands high and don't get too far apart. Okay, give me some angles.
Max, this guy's a burner.
Okay, now listen to me. Get your balance before you throw your punches.
Remember, your fight's on the inside. Breathe.
Let me see.
Good round, as you said.
Don't get wild, bud. Don't get wild. Keep your distance. You know what to do. Okay? Don't get crazy.
Very effective.
I want that body.
There you see Vargas, a good example of the kind of combination punches that he was throwing. As we mentioned, he doesn't like to just throw the jab out there. He likes to do something with it. Make some other punches follow. Again, working the end swell under both eyes in Gomez's corner. Max looked a little discouraged. His wife, by the way, works in corner too. She is Carmelita, who manages Max at this time, and she gets actively involved. She doesn't just stand back.
The bottom line right now is Vargas is getting off quicker and more effectively.
Go back out. Just Bobby Weaver, go in. Go in. Don't lie. Keep yourself. Get me some solid punches.
Vargas, we should point out, is already, even though he's only fought a handful of fights now in the U.S., attained a rating in the IBF and WBC, both number 8 in the IBF, 11th in the World Boxing Council. Victory tonight would send him, I think, skyrocketing at least a few more notches up.
I would have to think so. Quality opponent. He has improved in every outing that we've seen him since he did come north from Mexico. This is the most impressive I've been with him since we've started seeing him here on Fox.
Max appears to have lost a little of his drive in the last couple of rounds, Barry, and I think maybe some of those combinations are making him a little wary about rushing right in. So he's going to have to find some kind of technique here, or some kind of strategy to where he can be effective.
Get the body like I told you. Jab, jab.
Well, Vargas, as you would expect, is quicker on the outside, but the surprising thing is that Vargas is also quicker and more accurate than Gomez does get on the inside. That makes it a tough road for Max Gomez.
Because Gomez can out-hustle most of his opponents, but the thing is this kid hustles pretty good when he gets in exchanges. So he's tough to out-hustle, which means that Gomez has to overpower him if he can.
Good left hand, long looping left hand from Vargas. Just missed with that uppercut.
Really impressive rounds 4 and 5 for Adan Vargas, but I always keep in the back of my mind, having seen Gomez many times, what could still happen with Gomez coming on.
Yeah, well, you mentioned earlier in his last fight with David Santos, he took some of the middle rounds off. Needless to say, you can't really afford to do that. I think, though, in this case, it's more what Vargas is doing than what Gomez isn't doing. Good right hand by Vargas. And Gomez misses with all of his. We're coming back.
Jim, can you hear me, Jim? After this fight, you know, Adan Vargas does not speak English. Do you want me to go into the ring and interview him somehow? No, that's fine. If you've got somebody, I see he's pointing over to me right now. All right, because it appears as though he's on his way to a win here, so.
Yeah. Vargas looks good tonight.
Yes. If it goes the distance, do you want an interview or do you want to, yeah, okay. Okay.
We welcome you back, Barry Tompkins, Rich Murata. We start the 6th round. Adan Vargas has started to take command of this fight. Vargas in the blue trunks, Gomez in the red. Vargas picks up right where he left off.
All things considered, Barry, I think this is the most impressive fight of Vargas so far here in the United States when you consider the quality of his opponent. And the last couple of rounds that he's had, he really looks good.
Gomez really getting out-quicked by Vargas.
Come on, go inside.
Jimmy Montoya is with us in the corner of Max Gomez.
You're waiting, Max.
Jimmy, what Rich and I have just been talking about is right at the moment, Vargas is beating your man outside and beating your man inside. What can you say to him to get things turned around?
All he's got to do is get his distance, and he'll be all right.
Jimmy, this is Rich. Can Max jab with this kid, do you think?
Yes, he can. After I settle him down, he'll be doing a lot better. He's doing okay now, but he'll do better.
How about the serious nature of the cut? Is it serious?
No, it's not serious at all. I can handle that easy.
All right, Jimmy, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
You're welcome.
Jimmy Montoya from the corner of Max Gomez, still confident about his man.
Yes, he says he'll start picking it up. He just gets to a point where you expect that of Max.
Left hook by Gomez missed, and he took one from Vargas. Vargas slapped a little with that. Get the sense there's a little bit, I emphasize the word little, of desperation in Max Gomez.
Yeah, you know, I think maybe a little confusion about how to get to the kid. He keeps switching back to southpaw, and I don't think it's really as a real strategy, but more in terms of searching for something that might work for him.
Just a little short with that right hand.
But those were very slow punches thrown by Gomez. Did you notice those looping body shots he was trying to throw. He's getting slowed down here a little. But, you know, just keep in mind this kid, Gomez, has got a lot of willpower. He really just tries to outwill his opponents if he can.
Keep those hands moving. Nice. Keep those hands moving. Nice.
Gomez is able to get inside a little bit easier in this round, but still a question of what he's been able to do once he's gotten there. Vargas missing a little bit more in this round as well. Now a cut appears over the right eye of Vargas, but I'm not sure that may just be from Gomez's cut. And Vargas opens up again. End of round 6. All right. Set to go to round 7. This fight starting to develop into a pattern, and it's one that is weighed in the favor of the man in the blue trunks, Adan Vargas. Gomez's cut opened up again at the end of round 6, and it's a little bit worse than it was. We've got a timeout call from the referee, and I'm going to have a look at that cut.
There's Max Kolbar. You see blood on the other side of the face. Now another cut, and this one much more severe.
Yes.
Look at that one. Looks like, oh, that's a real gash, Barry. That's a bad one. The other cut was not a bad one, but this one looks like it could bust really wide open.
I'm going to get the doctor to look at this one now, and I'm not sure how far they will let this go.
He does not look too thrilled about sending him back out there.
No,
the
he
doctor.
doesn't. Well, I think your point's well taken. That is a very nasty cut.
Okay, so you try to protect that as much as you can. Stay right here. Stay right here.
I think they're going to let it go, and I would suggest that they probably will let it go until that cut opens up appreciably again. Right now, there's no blood from the cut.
It looks like it could be a fairly deep cut. Yes. It could be real trouble. I think if you think you saw some desperation in Gomez last round, get ready for a lot more of that right now. He knows the position he is in. Trailing on points, I'm sure, and now cut on both eyes.
And that cut has opened up again. That is the new one over the right eye. And that is, as you correctly pointed out, a nasty cut.
It just looks like the eyelid is hanging.
And we're going to get another timeout here, and I'm not sure they're going to let this go on.
Let's go!
Well, they are. Another long look.
Gomez just needs to land some kind of Sunday punch now because his hopes are dimmed considerably at this point. The referee doesn't look of a mind to really let this. He stopped it already 2-3 times in this round.
Well, and it is for the protection of the fighter, of course. I don't want to see things escalate to the point that it really is dangerous to the fighter, and you could see it as a nasty, nasty cut.
And have you noticed Adan Vargas sees that blood, but he's not going in wildly, not going in crazy. Look at him stick to his game plan. Basically staying on the outside, picking his man apart, jabbing, following with the cross. Looks good, the kid.
Yeah, it really does. You would think that he could work that cut, and he's not doing it. I think in his heart he knows that this fight is in the bag for him. Took a left hand from Gomez, but I just don't know how far the doctor and the referee will go with this. Straight punches all finding their mark.
Can't tell you how impressed I am with this performance of Vargas here tonight.
Very, very good.
Really quality stuff. And this is a good, real, live opponent in front of him. Max Gomez.
Well, it always says something about a fighter if a fighter fights up to his competition, and Vargas has certainly done that. Of course, our special attraction tonight features this man, the Olympic gold medalist, David Reed, a dramatic gold medal winner. We'll tell you a little bit more about that, and he is being trained, interestingly enough, by the same man who trained him, the Olympic coach, Al Mitchell. And Al, let's talk a little bit about David Reed. This is only his second fight, and Rich and I were commenting over the fact that combined, the two guys that you've chosen to fight, the first two are 23-1.
Well, Barry, let me tell you something. I told you before, I want Dave to be a true champ, and the only way you can be a true champ is don't get no lay-me-downs. What is he going to learn if you have lay-me-downs? I don't need somebody that he's knocking out the first or second round.
Al, we seem to see a couple of mistakes from David in his first pro fight. Although he was impressive, he was standing a little high. His head seemed to be held up high. Are these things that you've been working on, or do you agree with that?
Barry, I agree with you on that. The first fight, we knew he was going to be rusty. Me, Al, and Fred, we was talking about that. And his head was up, his mouth open. But you got to understand, he was out of the game for 7 months. Can you imagine that? 7 months. Come right into his first bout, a guy 10-0, and would you believe that? 10-0, 4 knockouts. We didn't look for no baby, we look for work.
All right, Al, thanks very much. You don't got no baby tonight either.
Hey, I know.
13-1. You're fighting tonight. Thanks very much, Al. Al Mitchell, one of the really good guys in the sport of boxing, and David Reed, another fine young man, is exactly the type of person you want to see not only get involved in the sport, but get involved at its highest level.
Yeah, he's a kid, I think, with a lot of charisma. Got $1 million smile, I'll tell you that.
Does.
He's a lot of fun to be around, David Reed, and I think more and more as the fans in the United States get to know David Reed, they're really going to come to like him.
And he's got the right guy in Al Mitchell, too. I really believe that. I mean, he's a guy who cares about the character of his fighter. Meanwhile, Max Gomez back out there, still the warrior, but getting it handed to him tonight by Adan Vargas.
One thing, of course, that works to Max's detriment in this fight is compared to the previous fight when he fell way behind Santos. He had 12 rounds to work with, a lot more rounds to get himself back into the fight, which he did, of course, at the end by coming on strong and sweeping those last 3 rounds. Here, of course, this is just a 10-rounder. He doesn't have as much time to offset what might be a considerable point lead by Adan Vargas.
Vargas right at the moment pretty much able to do what he wants. Really just trying to stay out of harm's way.
Max Gomez, I think, is at the point, Barry, where he's got to take chances. So that was a chance he took right there. He went in with his fist down, his head kind of up, he was open, but he did land a right hand to the body, and he managed to survive that little bit of risk, and he may have to take more of those now as this fight goes on.
I'll say the gentleman has done a pretty good job on that cut, even though it still is a gaping cut. It hasn't really started to bleed the last 2 rounds. Vargas again, doing what he's done. Good body work. Vargas just looking very sharp. I have an idea we're going to be hearing a little bit more of the name Adan Vargas future. They're coming back.
You don't want to be like, oh, here, everybody here.
Got it. All right.
I got it.
All the way down, Max. To the ground.
No.
Here we go.
No. Jim, are you?
This is the 9th round right here, Max. You got to turn it on, Holmes.
What do you want to do? Yes, put what on his back? That's enough. That's enough. Max, listen, man. You're lunging. You're fucking lunging. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, listen. Get your distance, bobbing, weave, but be firm. Relax. Yeah. You go to that punch? Yeah. I don't want you to throw one punch. Throw 5, 6 punches.
Get it on. Number 9, next.
We welcome you back. We come to round number 9. Max Gomez still there, but it'll take nothing short of a miracle here for Max. Never fight in the state of Colorado before, and there isn't a boxing commission as such here in the state.
Vargas may just be the kind of opponent that doesn't allow for Max Gomez to stage his usual furious closing stretch run.
Vargas walked in a good right hand from Gomez, but it didn't appear to hurt him.
Max is taking chances, rushing his opponent now. And trying to rough him up. He threw an elbow up high there. It's a little bit of desperation from Gomez, but if it works, he's all for it.
Got there with the left hand.
Boy, that's a nasty looking cut above that right eye.
It really is.
Man. Those last 3 punches by Vargas, too, were all right on or around that area of the cut. Gomez has picked up the pace in this round.
Clearly has.
Here comes Max.
Good left hand from Gomez, but he took a couple in return. Gomez actually has gotten a couple of big shots in from Vargas, but Vargas hasn't taken a backward step. There with the left hand. A little bit better round for Gomez. Came there with the right hand, but still has not hurt Vargas.
I think he's landed more clean shots, though, in this round, probably than any other.
Into the 9th round. But Gomez almost certainly is going to need a knockout in the final round to get the job done. We're going to take you right now into the locker room of Robert Kuhn, and he, of course, will be the man who is fighting David Reed. And with us is Johnny Smith, who is his trainer, and Robert Kuhn's the guy who's fought all his fights in Alabama and Louisiana. So, Johnny, tell us a little bit about your man, and how's he going to beat the Olympic champion?
Yes, sir. He's been training real hard and working on some new punches, some of his uppercuts. Some of his left hook, sharpening him up, moving good, and he's gonna do well tonight.
Johnny, from this is Rich here. Is there anything that you can see from his expression or his temperament that he might have a few more butterflies and a little more nervousness for this fight than he has for others?
No, sir. I've been with Robert now in about 3 or 4 fights, and I ain't never seen him nervous or back up. He's a good fighter, and he's tough, and y'all see that.
What did you see, Johnny, and David Reed that you feel you could exploit?
Leaning back a lot. You know, he keeps his hands up high, tries to fight like Sugar Ray, and ain't but one Sugar Ray.
All right, Johnny, thank you very much. That's Johnny Smith, the trainer of Robert Kuhn, and our special attraction. That is David Reed and Robert Kuhn, and it's coming up here on Fox. Meanwhile, 10th and final round, Max Gomez in the red trunks, Adan Vargas in the blue. And Vargas has fought a very good fight.
The last fight that we had a month ago with Max Gomez, he lost a very heartbreaking split decision to Santos. After I got back to California, the vast majority of people that I talked to about that fight thought that Gomez had won that fight. But I don't think most people will have that same feeling here this evening.
Now, I think this one is pretty clear, despite the fact it is in Gomez's hometown.
It's always something to keep in mind.
That is, but it would be tough to make a case here.
I was going to make my one prediction here this evening that Thomas Triber, when he got up there after the Gomez fight, would say, ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. That's always the case with Max, but I would be surprised if he said that tonight.
Yeah, that would be a hard case to make. Good left hand from Gomez. Well, Gomez is closing in his customary fashion.
He'd probably like to have those additional 2 rounds that he had in that last fight also.
Good hook again from Gomez. Halfway through the final round.
You can't afford to rest and take too much time off against Max Gomez. He will make you pay for it.
Blood from, looks like beneath the left eye now of Gomez. So he's got over the left eye, under the left eye, and over the right eye.
Gomez pushing him back with his shoulder. Max resorting to all the tricks here now.
I think Vargas a little bit tired now. He has been, I think, for the last 2 or 3 rounds. But still has fought an excellent fight. And I think all Max Gomez is going to have to do tomorrow is look in the mirror to realize what a good fight Adan Vargas fought.
As usual, any fight involving Max Gomez, though, turned out to be a really good fans fight.
Absolutely so, and maintaining his perfect record of not ever having been knocked out. And we come to the end. And Vargas again, in his customary fashion, at least on my card, won the last 2 rounds.
Yes, Gomez came on again. He was coming on strong at the finish. But did he run out of time?
Well, I think Vargas took command of this fight early in the fight, and at least in my humble opinion, did more than enough to go on and win it, and I would have to think it would be unanimous. We'll come back, we'll get the official decision right after this. Rich is having trouble finding his microphone here, just so you know. I know, I'll watch it. I'm hooked up, Rich is not. I'll keep an eye. We welcome you back. Adan Vargas and Max Gomez have gone the 10 rounds, and we will find out who won it and by how much on my card and on my partner's card. We had it 97-93 for Vargas, as Vargas we had winning all the middle rounds. Gomez coming on at the end, and now we're going to find out exactly how the judges saw this one as we go to the ring announcer, Thomas Triber. Thomas?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards, and we have a majority decision. Judge Rex Walker scores the bout even 95-95. And both judges Steve Waldman and Joseph Mason scored about the same, 96-94, all in favor of your winner by majority decision, Adan Vargas.
Well, I must say, closer fight, the way the judges saw it than the way we saw it here at the table, but nonetheless, the winner is Adan Vargas. Another tough loss for Max Gomez, but I don't really think that Max would complain about this one too much. And right now, we're just about set to take you up to the center of the ring. Rich Murata's with the winner, and we'll have an interpreter to tell us exactly what the winner says. Rich?
Okay, thank you, Barry. Let's talk here to Adan Vargas. And we have Ulysses Amanzan here to interpret for us. First of all, congratulate him if you would on the victory and ask him if he was able to keep to his game plan here tonight.
Primero que nada, felicidades, y lo que te quieren preguntar es que si tú pudiste mantener el control y estabas siguiendo lo que tú habías planeado para esta pelea.
Claro que sí, me dijeron que era un peleador muy fuerte y aparte iba yo con la desventaja de que estaba aquí en su casa. Pero yo estoy preparado para donde me lleven, si quieren, a su casa, al patio de su casa, donde me quieren y gano.
Okay, he said, yeah, he was prepared to this fight, and he knew he was a hard hitter, but he's ready to do anything, to go anywhere they take him, and he felt he had control of the fight.
When he saw Gomez get cut in both eyes, was he looking for the eyes?
Cuando viste que Gómez estuvo cortado de los dos ojos, ¿andabas buscándole para pegarle en los ojos?
Claro que sí, pero a donde salieran los golpes, yo vengo preparado no para nada más las cortadas, porque luego no se dan. Pero vi mucho que lo bajé con los golpes abajo al estómago.
Yeah, he said he was looking for the cuts, but he was working on the body, and he said he wasn't expecting the cuts, but he was ready.
Max Gomez, of course, is a guy who comes right at you. What did you have to do against Max because he put so much pressure on you?
¿Qué es lo que tuviste que hacer contra Max? Porque es un peleador que se deja venir a ti y te pone mucha presión.
Pues boxearlo, imponer mi boxeo. Él es un fajador, un golpeador nato. Yo soy un boxeador. Yo no me caracterizo por ser noqueador. Yo creo que soy más boxeador que noqueador.
Okay, he said he just wanted to keep him away from him because Max it's a really hard hitter, but he was just trying to keep him away from him, and that way he managed to win the fight.
Well, congratulations, felicidades, and we'll look for you in the future.
Felicidades y te esperan ver en el futuro.
Muchas gracias, un saludo a todos.
Thank you very much.
There's Adan Vargas, the winner. Let's go back down ringside now.